Good afternoon and welcome to Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. I'm Kevin MacDonald with my producer today, Mike.
Good morning, or good afternoon, actually.
Good afternoon. We're on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for and about seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And we also want to give kudos out to Barbara, who's taking a day off today on vacation, our Barbara Cochran, and she'll be back next week. So, our first guest this morning is Marius Bahnean from the Masters University, Associate Professor of Music and Director of Choral Activities, and we welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good
morning.
afternoon.
Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon. Good to be here.
I'm stuck on morning for some reason.
You're stuck on the morning. The hour has switched, and we're in the afternoon.
Indeed.
So, I was going over your bio. What an amazing story you have with music.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
that. Could you give the audience just a tip of what you've been through and where your travels have been?
Absolutely, I would love to. I was born and raised in Romania, and my parents emigrated to Canada when I was 16, and that's where I started forming my musical ideas, musical endeavors, and really pursuing music for real. I had wonderful mentors during my high school. Remember the times when high schools had good music programs? Yeah, those were the good times. And I was so fortunate to have good mentors there that guided me and inspired me. So I started slowly taking some conducting lessons. Of course, I had many instrumental and vocal instruction private. And then I decided to really pursue music as a career. I started in a very fine undergraduate program up in Ontario, Canada. And then I did my master's in Massachusetts, University of Massachusetts, Amherst, and my doctoral work at LSU, Go Tigers, Louisiana State University.
We got a tiger in there.
All right.
Tiger in the house, my goodness.
Yeah, I still have the LSU plate thing on my car, too.
All right.
So a big Tigers fan. But those were very good experiences in terms of getting high quality education from brilliant people. And I also had the opportunity to travel over to England, Cambridge, Oxford, and work with some people there. And those experiences, as you would imagine, in that setting, in those chapels, with those type of sounds are incredible. And they teach you a lot. And that's kind of my educational journey. And then I've been teaching in higher education for over 10 years.
Nice.
I was in Tennessee prior to coming to the Masters University. So those were really my formative years in how I got to be a musician.
Wow. Do you have a specialty in the music world?
I do. I'm glad you asked that. I specialize in early music, what we call, so medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque. Oh. So from the 300s to about 1750. That's my specialty.
Okay.
So, your big Vivaldi, Bach, those are the staples for me. And before that, some more obscure names, obviously, in the Renaissance and medieval times. But
when you're doing that music from that era, obviously education is key.
That's right. You need to
know the history of it.
understand exactly what the composer meant in the score. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Yeah.
Wow. So you're teaching the history of music as well as music in general.
I do, because that's my other big passion, understanding music in the right context. So, political, sociological, religious, whatever you have it, put the music that the composers during that time created so that I understand it. So I actually teach music history here at the Masters University too.
It's almost like art, right? I mean, when
it is.
When you're doing paintings, it depends on what era, right?
Yeah, it's amazing to see the architectural structures of the buildings in medieval times matching the structure of the music that happens, and then moving on to the Renaissance and seeing that too.
Can you imagine his album collection at home?
That's right.
You must have, yeah.
I do. It's quite. When I moved from Tennessee to here, that was quite an ordeal to move all the albums that I have. So I started digitizing them, but
Good.
I still keep actual hard copies, if I can call them that, because they're so important, I think. So.
What do you think instilled your love of music? Was it through your family, or?
It was through my family, and to be honest, I grew up in a church that had children's choir, orchestras, brass bands, all sorts of quartets and whatnot, and that's where I started reading music first, and I grew up around it so much that I almost didn't want to do anything else except music, and that just kept kept me going. I actually finished electronics as my first degree. Because I thought, I need to make some money somehow. So I went through the electronics route, and I worked in R&D, research and development, with a fine company. And it was good, but it was not rewarding, and it was not my calling. So I had to give that up to go into the music. But it was so worth it. There's so many wonderful ways that you can put together a very good living out of making music, especially good music. Still, yeah.
Wow, what a background, and to have a church that had that kind of quality music, because I know so many churches, and and some just have the guitar player, and then
Now
what
that's
you
the trend,
offered,
yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
now it's big, and
It is.
to give you that exposure so early, that's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah, and I had wonderful family members that were actually professional musicians, classically trained, and I could watch them, and I always aspired to that. It was always such a moment of eye-opening moment for me to see them apply themselves and to be in the same room with them and hear them on their instrument or voice. It was chilling. It was
Wow.
wonderful.
And now you're at the Masters College.
That's right.
A huge part of Santa Clarita for many, many years. How did they find you?
Well,
Or did you find them?
it was a bit of both. I knew of them, of the Masters University School of Music, which is now called Paul T. Plu, after long time serving Paul T. Plu professor there. And I saw a posting when they advertised for the opening position, and I knew of them. I didn't know people specifically that taught there or worked there, but I said I might as well apply and see what happens. And I just sent my application, and sure enough, they called me in for an interview, which I was thankful for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Santa Clarita.
Well, thank you.
3 years later, we're
3
still going
years
to welcome
later,
you here.
Yes.
How many
That's-
students do you have?
So in the School of Music currently, we have about 85
Oh, wow.
music majors specifically. Now, I'm not counting the minors. I'm not counting everybody that's involved in the music ensembles, just specifically music majors.
And this encompasses instrumental and vocal, right?
We have the full array of music offerings. So we have all instruments, vocal, we have music composition, we have church music, and we have a very strong audio production and post-production and music production program too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's the full gamut of undergraduate degrees within the School of Music that we do offer.
Wow.
And the faculty is, I'm probably the one that's, not so established, but everybody else is just completely stellar. And I'm blessed to work with them.
So
every
it's like a
single day.
family.
It is a
Yeah.
family. I can't
sounds
wait
like a lot
to
of
get-
talent in that family, too.
No kidding.
It is, and I can't wait to wake up and go to work in the morning. It's that a beautiful of an environment.
What instruments do you play? Just off.
I play trumpet. I played the harpsichord, hence the early music. I play the piano, the organ,
Oh, wow.
and I sing and I conduct choirs. So
Wow. That was fantastic.
I love all music, and
Sure.
I actually made a point to pursue both orchestral and choral music conducting, so I can do both.
And it's great because the Masters has a couple of programs that, they're in music and choral and whatnot. We had a guest a few weeks ago who has the drama.
That's right.
Yeah.
Drama too.
And that's, it's great.
Oh, absolutely.
And
So-
you guys shared that with the community, which is phenomenal.
Always.
So all this comes together, and the holiday season's coming up. So tell us how you bring all this talent together during the holiday season.
Which is exactly as you put it, as bringing all this talent together, which was what we try to do in our Christmas concerts, which their title, Come Christmas Sing. And we're actually presenting the 41st annual Come Christmas Sing. Last year we had our 40th, so
Wow.
4 decades of doing this. And this year, Come Christmas Sing at the Masters University is going to take place on December 6th at 2 p.m. and also at 7:30 p.m. So we have 2 shows on Saturday, December 6th in the MacArthur Center, which is our gym. And we do try to bring all these ensembles, great ensembles that we have at the Masters, together for that particular concert. So we have the University Singers, which is our largest singing ensemble. I have about 120 students in there. Then we have the University Orchestra, which is for this particular program, I think somewhere in the vicinity of 65, 70 players. Then we have the Masters Choral, which is the smaller, more advanced choral ensemble. And that ensemble is about 50 students. Then we have the doxology, what we call doxology group, which is about 12 students, both instrumental, vocal. We have the piano ensemble. We have percussionists. We have soloists, vocalists. So we try to feature all the ensembles and all the things that we have available.
How long is this show?
So the show is about, with intermission, we timed it to be just under 2 hours with the 20-minute intermission.
Bringing all those groups through.
All those groups together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it is group after group after group.
It is. It's a big production, as we said. It's our biggest production, and we take it seriously. So
Traditional music, holiday music.
it's a very much a traditional in terms of Christmas music, but we try to bring in either new compositions that have good value, new setting of older texts, and also try to involve the concert goers with inviting them to sing a couple of carols too.
And this is an event for all ages.
All ages.
Even our seniors.
Absolutely. We would love to invite all the Santa Clarita community to come partake in this. And you can actually go on our website, the Masters or masters.edu, and find tickets there. And if there's any questions, feel free to call the School of Music, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with that.
Yeah, and what do the tickets cost? Is there a range?
There's a range for obviously students, lower range than a general admission price. And then if you want reserved seats in the first 2 rows of the hall, then you pay a little more, but it's definitely worth, because you have your seat saved. And you're really close to me, so you can whisper whatever you want in my ear.
Wow.
We can request songs.
Oh, absolutely.
No. I'm sure this is very planned. Kevin's not going to be there requesting a
Right.
song.
Please, Kevin.
I want the first Noel. Please start out with that. So, that's amazing.
And of course, the Masters College has been here for many, many years. You mentioned 4 decades for this event alone, for the holiday event.
That's right.
So much going on there, and the music program, a huge part of the Masters.
It is one of the first interaction place with everybody that comes to Masters, because the music program is so involved in everything on the student life. So you don't have to be a music major to be part of the ensemble, which is great, because in this concert we'll have a lot of non-music majors that are in the ensembles, both choral, orchestral, what have you. And they are so incredibly pleased that they get a chance to be part of this big production, especially at Christmas, and do it so well with so many good colleagues. So anyone on campus is actually eligible to participate in any of those ensembles. You don't have to be a music major, which is great.
Wow. So how's your preparation with just a couple weeks to go?
Just a couple weeks, and of course next week being Thanksgiving week, we have it off. So the week that we come back after Thanksgiving is basically our concert week.
Right.
So we made sure during the semester that we obviously practice and learn the music well, so that when concert week comes, we put all the groups together and try to stage it, make sure everything's to the T. We don't make any blunders in the transitions. So everything's really set in that week, the concert week that we call. We have extra rehearsals, as you would imagine, just to make sure that we present something that's of good value and of encouragement to the city of Santa Clarita.
Wow. Yeah, and it's for the whole city to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, come Christmas, sing. Is there a part that you're like, I love this part of what they're going to showcase?
Absolutely. There's a couple of things that I really am excited for. One, because I live in early music, is Vivaldi's Magnificat. We're doing the whole Magnificat. Very short, about 15 minutes. It's for choir and soloist. And we'll feature a couple of very fine vocalists that we have in our program at the Masters University School of Music, and also Choral is gonna sing the choral parts. I'm excited about this because usually I say during Christmas, Vivaldi's Gloria is mostly performed. Magnificat not so much, but it's just as equally shiny, equally energetic, equally happy. And the other thing that I'm really excited is that the orchestra actually this year opens with the overture from Miracle on the 34th Street, which is a great
Sure.
movie, and especially the 1994 soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to use as the overture.
That's very Americana.
It
That's
is
very prolific. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that I'm excited about that. And we wanted to include the Carol of the Bells, of course, Ukrainian composition carol, just to acknowledge that they're going through some suffering, even though it's Christmas and happy. We wanted to acknowledge that, and I think that's a nice way to really start the program with. And it's a great piece of music too.
Right.
It's a great
That everybody knows.
Everybody knows. And speaking of the first Noel, you mentioned it. We certainly are doing it.
Okay, I'll have to ask.
And it's going to be an interesting setting because it's a new, if you want composition, even though the last two verses are kept in the traditional tune, the first four verses are set in a newer tune just recently. And that juxtaposition of new and old, I think that's what we offer really well in this concert.
That's wonderful.
Wow, what a combination.
Yeah. So you'll hear the piano ensemble too, which is probably the lightest and the most fun, the most engaging of all the pieces that we're doing. The piano ensemble is interesting because you have multiple students sitting at one piano,
Oh, wow.
and it also looks hilarious.
Okay.
But it sounds amazing because they all play. So you have
So they're
four
all on
little
the same
benches put opposite, not the long way, but
Right.
opposite. So all of it are squished in at the keyboard, and they play amazingly. And it's also entertaining to watch, but also really, really fine.
How many pieces in the orchestra?
In the orchestra plays by itself in two key places, but then the orchestra accompanies the choirs in mostly everything that we do. So the orchestra is always going to be involved in this.
And how many pieces in the orchestra?
65, 70.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be loud.
Yeah, it's going to be a large orchestra.
Oh, that's why they're having it in a gym, right?
Yeah.
That's right. So we can accommodate for all those. Yeah. So 120 some singers and about 70 piece orchestra.
That's a lot of coordination.
It is.
Yeah,
That's why.
coordinate that.
That's why we need that long 1 week concert week
Right.
rehearsals to put all.
Hopefully somebody's helping you as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have a
because-
great production team that's always there and always suggesting what to do next, and we're working with them to finesse all those transition points. That need to happen smoothly.
Amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Get you in the Christmas spirit for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And give us the date, the time, and your website again.
December 6th, Saturday, December 6th. The first show is going to be at 2 p.m. and the second one is going to be at 7:30 p.m. And you can go on our website, masters.edu, and you'll find the tickets right on. It's usually on the homepage. As soon as you get there, there's a link that says purchase tickets for Come Christmas Sing.
Sounds like the great way to start the season.
That's going to inspire future musicians as well.
That's
when you
our
go,
hope.
when you go to a concert like that, it's like, wow, I want to do that.
That's exactly our hope.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of stories of students coming to us, and we ask them, how did you hear about us? Why do you want to be part of the Masters University School of Music? And that's the thing they say. I went to a Come Christmas Sing concert, and that was just what captivated me, what drew me in. So
So we have to get this out to the high schoolers, too, who are thinking about
Will
music.
there be a harpsichord there, though?
there will be a harpsichord for
Really?
the Magnificat. Yeah.
Are you going to play or no?
I will not because I'm conducting.
Oh,
One
so
of our
you can't
fine
be-
students
You can't
will.
do both, yeah.
I could, but there's too much to coordinate in this one. So, and I want to give our students the opportunity to finish and to experience that.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Give us the dates again on that.
December 6th, Saturday, December 6th, 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m.
All right, we got to get the word out to the
We
community.
definitely. And if they want to buy tickets, they can buy those online.
Online, masters.edu. You go on the homepage and you'll see a link that takes you exactly to the place where you can purchase tickets for that.
And remind folks where the Masters is located.
The Masters is located in the canyon. I'm new here, so which canyon?
It's on Placerita, right? Isn't
Down
it?
Placerita.
Yeah.
That's the main address, but the North Camp, and that's where the gym is located on
Okay, so
Placerita.
we're looking for the gym.
That's right, Placerita.
So we go down there, we'll find
I'm
it.
the new kid, so I don't know what the address is. I know how to get there.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us today.
That's
and,
great
look
information.
forward to,
I got a trivia question before you go
Yes.
off, though. You're in the car alone.
Yeah.
What are you singing?
At this time,
Yes.
Handel's Messiah choruses.
All
for
right.
sure.
See, there's a true musician.
Are you strictly classical, or do you tend to
I do
Like all music.
all types, all
Okay.
styles of music. Yes.
But I mean, you personally. I mean,
Personally,
yeah.
I'm a classically trained
All right.
and classically kind of inspired musician.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thanks so
Thank you for
much.
all your
Thank
work
you
with the
for
students
having
and taking care of
yeah.
this community and then bringing Christmas to life in this community.
Absolutely. Looking
This-
forward to having everyone there.
Wow, that's fantastic. Listen, we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin MacDonald with producer Mike on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And thank you again for Marius Bahnean from the Associate Professor of Music and Director of Choral Activities at the Masters University. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin MacDonald with my producer Mike. On hey, Mike. On your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for and about seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. Our next guest for this hour
The
is
biggest Dodger supporter in town.
could be. He's also the biggest Rotarian in town
Yeah,
and a
exactly,
giver to
yeah.
the community. That's our own Scott Hoolahan from Lone Depot. Scott,
Hey,
welcome
Scott.
to the show.
Hey guys, how's
Welcome
it
back.
going? Thank
All
you,
right.
thank you.
So listen, what's going on today? What's going on with Lone Depot, and what are you offering to this community?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna stay consistent.
Okay.
We've been every time I've been here, and the plan is to continue really trying to educate your listeners and the seniors in our community about the virtues of a reverse mortgage, kind of dispel some of the myths, and then try to educate on, is that a product, is that a tool that maybe you should be using? So you and I were talking beforehand, and I've got some ideas, and there are a lot of aspects to what differentiates the reverse from a regular mortgage. Not, the obvious one is no payments, right? So, could you make payments? You could make payments on a reverse if you had the extra income or you had money. You were talking about a family situation where you took one out and then you paid it back. No harm, no foul. You can, pay those interest charges and pay ahead. But what I really wanted to talk about is one of the most unique features of a standard, what we call a HECM. And everybody likes to use acronyms.
Right.
Loan business is no different. So it's a home equity conversion mortgage, right?
Okay.
So you're taking the equity and you're converting it into a mortgage. The difference is it's paying the homeowner as opposed to you paying them, right?
Wow.
And remember, that equity in a home, you've already paid taxes on it, right? You paid it before it got to the lender. So it's important to know that there is no taxation on the money when you go to use that equity, right? However you use it. But what you and I were talking about and what I'd like to focus in on is that unique aspect of a HECM line of credit.
Okay.
Right? So you have a lot of choices about how you can extract the equity, right? There's a term called tenor where you can take payments over time, right? And basically create an income stream for a period of time or for the life of the loan, depending on your age. You could take a lump sum, or you could take a piece of the lump sum and leave the rest in a line of credit. And really, that line of credit is completely unlike your traditional line of credit that you might have in second place behind a traditional mortgage, right? And
I mean, I've done those traditional ones, right? And everyone at one point is going to say, I need to put a new walkway in front of my house. I need to get that swimming pool, so I'm going to take a line of credit out.
Right.
And how is this different from me doing that?
So first thing is, right, that's going to have a term, right? And it's going to have a repayment,
Yep.
right? And it's going to have an amount that when established, that's the line of credit. It's not going to be increased, right? So that's the biggest difference is right there. This line of credit actually has the ability to grow over time, right? And that could grow anywhere between 1.5 to the traditional HECM around 6.5%. So the money that starts today, every year, 6.5% compounding is added to that balance. So what I might have in a line of credit today of a couple $100,000 could literally in 10 years be $1 million, right? So that, depending on your situation, and the beauty of the reverse mortgages, there's a ton of disclosures, and one of them is gonna give you that outline of what is that line of credit gonna be worth if you don't touch it. And this is here's another great feature of it. If you remember during the great mortgage collapse, right, the meltdown, if you had a line of credit and you're listening, you may have been one of those people that got a letter and it said, that $150,000 line of credit that you had is either now $50,000 or it's been closed completely.
Right.
That was not unusual at all for the banks to start calling in on those and start mitigating their risk and closing those lines of credit. With the HECM line of credit, that will never happen. It will never get closed. There is no situation, and I'm going to tell you some really unique instances. For example, if you had a reverse mortgage and a HECM line of credit and you lost your home in one of these fires, you're not living in the home any longer.
Right.
As long as you're taking care of taxes and you were in good standing at that time, that line of credit is still there for you to use. And there's no house there, right? So amazing, right? We all saw a thing, when the earth starts moving, sometimes that can change home values.
Right.
Right? We saw that in 1994. That line of credit's not going to change. That's going to be there and be consistent. And that growth factor of 6.5% in a lot of cases, you can't find that kind of guarantee in, I don't know, many investment options, right, where you could find that. I have a client right now who had this plan from the get-go that at retirement age, he would have his home paid off. And his goal was then to allow for his retirement to pay the cost of getting that line of credit on his home. And then he knew that no matter what happened to him, his wife, they're in the forever house. That's
Right.
the first thing, right? At age 80 or so, his wife's going to have access to a line of credit that she'll never have to qualify for, can never change, can never be taken away, and that'll be there for her no matter what happens to him. They can then stretch out their retirement money and start to use that a little more frugally, right? Knowing that all along he's already secured this line of credit and it's growing to be a real asset to her down the line if he's not there.
So it gives you a little more flexibility with that retirement savings, which is always tough.
Yeah, I've got, in fact, in January, I'll be sitting down with one of our local investment advisor groups here in town, and they are starting to have a better understanding of, look, if they're managing your retirement, your assets, well, one of the biggest parts of your assets is potentially the equity in your home.
Right.
And now, some people planned well, some people didn't. If you've got a pension, you've got that Social Security coming in, I don't know, maybe we can rely on Social Security, maybe we can't. But if you've got equity in your home and it's nearly paid off or paid off by the time you get to that retirement age, what advisors are starting to look at is maybe we need to, instead of taking a 7% draw on your retirement plan, you take a 4%. The first thing that happens is you're saving in taxation that 3% differential. And the other thing is
Because you're getting taxed on your retirement.
you're getting taxed when
But
you
you're
start
not getting
taking that
taxed on
money.
this.
Right. And now that money, right, we're growing at 6.5%. So there's an offset there of any taxation. And what you find is that retirement fund is going to be available longer because we're living longer, right? And at the end of the day, the monies that have grown in equity, that have grown on that line of credit, right, are probably more than what you've paid in taxes. So there's an offset there. All right. So now you've got flexibility, you've got taxation savings, and you've got options. And that money, you paid it in. So now it's there to help you while you're living.
Wow. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack too. Give me a simple example that you talked about your one. Give me a client what's your classic. You don't have to use names. Just make up a name.
Yeah.
And tell me how this really can impact them.
So-
or paint your scenario.
I'll tell you about the one I've got going right now. A really neat gentleman that was referred to me, and his thought is, he got a great low interest rate, back in the 2020, 2021. He's living on a fixed income, and he has a beautiful home that he's taken really good care of. And that home is worth probably in the area of 1.2.
Sure.
But in an effort to reinvest in the property and take care of what have you, he's got amassed a pretty good mortgage, right? Now, at his age, around 83 years old, he's got no heirs. He's not married. He's in good health. He's in great spirits. I love this guy. And he's looking at, quality of life. And he could literally eliminate that mortgage payment, also get some cash, but the difference in not paying that mortgage payment out now every month, total game changer in terms of his ability to travel, buy that last car. He is not tied by that mortgage. He's in the forever house, beautiful home that he's lived there for many, many years. So now, even though he's got that low interest rate, it's still a burden on.
Because he still owes a bunch of the mortgage.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so every month.
So you
there's
could
that
still take
mortgage
the
payment.
reverse out even though you haven't even.
And eliminate that payment. And in his case, because of the value and his age, there'll be some other, cash that'll be added to the closing that'll come to him that he can virtually do with whatever he wants. But the game changer is going to be in that monthly cash flow, the difference in not sending that off anymore. Because why? Again, in his case, and everybody's different.
Right.
He has no heirs. He's not putting that money away for somebody. And we talked about the living inheritance. So, I could still, even if he was, we could argue if he had more equity, how that money could be used today in a living inheritance to
Right.
help the heirs.
Well, somebody really needs to sit down with you because every scenario is different. Every family is different. Hairs, not hairs, and what you want to do with the rest of your life. And you're in your 80s, and what are you capable of doing? Somebody in good shape is still going, wants to see the world, and this may be an opportunity.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in every case, and I'm so thankful for you and KHTS for having me here and giving me this platform and the ability to, it's those stories, right? That's what gets the wheels turning. Well, how would that work for me?
Right.
Right. And so go to my website, reversescott.com, reach out to me. I'll always answer my phone. You could send me an email or request a time and an appointment. And that's what I'd love to do, is sit down and start to kind of, first identify if you're in the forever home, what are the possibilities? What are your options? Lay those out. If we need to get heirs and other family members around the table, let's do that. Let's, get an open discussion going and figure out what the possibilities are. And then, we probably need to dig into it on a different segment, but then, we'll because I've said it several times, if you're in the forever home,
You made that very clear.
right?
Right.
Because if
that's
you're not,
that's a starter.
then let's not have this discussion. Maybe we need to get a real estate professional at the table and talk about selling this home and identifying the forever home
Okay.
and using a reverse mortgage to purchase it.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So really, it takes a discussion
100%.
and some really good financial planning. But your team can obviously do that and lead people in different directions.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of listening. We know you're a good listener, but it's a lot of good listening on what the fabric of my life is.
Yeah. And you know what? I just I was telling a colleague, doing these loans has just really brought back my love for what I do professionally, because it, in every instance, I believe that I'm changing somebody's life for the better. I'm opening up the next chapter. I'm being a part of that, a game changer financially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How do I get a hold of you again?
Go to reversescott.com.
All right. We're going to come back, but we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin MacDonald with my producer, Mike, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. All right. We are back with Scott Hoolahan from Loan Depot. Scott, thanks for hanging around for the rest of the hour with us. Good to have you. A lot of information in the last few minutes you shared. A lot going on there. Could you share a little bit about you ended up with reverse purchase, and what does that mean?
Yeah, I get a funny look when I say that, because I think traditionally, right, people are thinking, well, the reverse is, something I would do on my home where I have an existing mortgage to get rid of that, or in the case where I own the home free and clear, I would use it to get equity. Well, as I always start with, right, are we in the forever home? Are we in the right house? And if the answer to that question is no, right? You and I know some folks that are in this situation, and that 2-story, 4-bedroom home for the two of them,
Right.
with beautifully polished wooden steps, is not a good place for aging seniors. Right? They're going to have to find themselves in a single story that's more manageable, right?
Which is the classic search as you get into more seniorhood.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we have so many builders, right? Lennar and the others are building those homes. So the conversation moves to, let's get a real estate professional at the table. I work with some really good ones who are, really mindful of senior needs and what that involves. And we get together, list that home, sell that home. Now take that equity and go to one of these neighborhoods and these communities that's really built for that senior to age out in the right house, right? So let's just say in the instance where you might sell a house for, I like easy math, right?
Yes,
So you
let's
sell
go
a house for $1
easy for me.
million and you don't owe anything on it today. So now you got $1 million cash. Well, those homes up there in these newer communities are, the 1-story are highly sought after. So let's say that home is selling for 1.2, and our seniors are in their late 70s. What they might be able to do is, instead of taking that full $1 million and they're thinking, well, now we're going to end up with a mortgage because that's $1.2 million, and maybe we qualify on our pension, maybe we don't. Well, the reverse mortgage will kind of back into that scenario and say, you're only going to put down a percentage. So in that case, you're going to put down, let's say, 60% of the 1.2 million, right? So you got $1 million. Now you're only going to put down 700,000 of it, and you're going to move into that new beautiful home and have no mortgage. Now remember, with the reverse, there's always going to be taxes and insurance and an HOA if that exists, right? So those things don't go away. You're going to still pay those, but you're not going to pay a mortgage. Right, even if that was going to be a $200,000 mortgage, the differential, there's going to be no mortgage. And in fact, remember,
Because I'm taking out the reverse mortgage.
yep,
Okay.
you're doing the reverse. And remember, we got $1 million. And if you're a married couple, right, you get 500,000 of that tax free. That other 500,000 is going to have some capital gains tax potentially, right, based on when you bought the home and those sorts of things. But then the difference is cash in your pocket,
All right.
right? So now, again, quality of life, maybe that's money that you want to gift to a grandchild, maybe help them with a down payment on a home, right? So now you have, you have the ability to purchase that forever home, not have a mortgage on that home, and maybe you're upgrading in home and area, and the virtues and the amenities of that home and that neighborhood, and you're not having to take on a mortgage to do
Right.
so.
Wow. Yes. Code C. Scott. How do we get a hold of you?
ReverseScott.com. I'm at Loan Depot. I office right here in Valencia, so I'm in that office every day. Welcome people that want to set an appointment with me. Come on in. Let's sit face to face. If need be, I'll come to you. I often visit my clients at their homes.
And now we know why you love what you do for a living, because you said I'm helping other people.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great. Speaking of helping other people, a little plug for your Rotary Club, my Rotary Club of Santa Cruz. What are they doing next week for the community?
It's the Operation Gobble.
All right, and what is that?
Yeah, and so the Rotary Club's going to give away 275 turkeys, 250 chickens to Senior Center, Salvation Army, and
Thank
our
you,
friends
Scott.
over at SCB
All right.
Grocery.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Rotary. You've been listening to the Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. Now go and enhance your quality of life.